The Tigers blow their lead to the Nationals and lose 4-5. Lions meet with a highly touted free agent and three different strategies that we could see the Red Wings take in the NFL draft in just a couple weeks. We'll break all that down on today's show.
And there's the snap. Blitz comes. Mayfield back. Loads. Throws. Picked up by the Lions. Intercepted by the Lions. Intercepted by the Lions. Derek Barnes. Derek Barnes. Derek Barnes. Reggie Miller. And it's blocked again. What a block.
Lead pass in for Larkin. In space for Raymond. And he scores! Lucas Raymond!
Welcome back to Detroit Sports Talk. Happy Wednesday, happy hump day. Today's date is June 12th, 2024. I am your host, Bobby Buckets, and I want to thank you for taking the time to talk some Detroit sports today. Be sure to like the show, subscribe to the channel, comment below your thoughts on today's topics, and follow me on Twitter at Bobby Buckets. Updates across the sports world. We have Game 3 of the NBA Finals tonight. The Celtics are up 2-0. We're going back to Dallas this time for the first game in Dallas for Game 3. We'll see if the Mavericks can hold on to home court and get their first win of the Finals tonight. Also, we lost the man, the myth, the legend, the logo, Jerry West this morning. So RIP to our boy, Jerry. Let's go ahead and dive into our first segment. First segment is going to be looking at the Detroit Tigers Game 1 of their 3-game series with the Washington Nationals. They played last night and ended up losing 4-5, where frankly, there wasn't a whole lot going on. One inning was crazy, and you didn't get any offense from the Tigers in any other innings. So what else is new in regards to this? But Tigers slowly moving further and further away from 500. They now sit at 32-34. To discuss the specifics of the game wasn't a whole lot until the 5th inning. So top of the 5th inning comes around. Nationals are winning 1-0. They get 2 more runs in the top of the 5th. So they're up 3-0. We head to the bottom of the 5th, and on one swing of the bat, the Tigers get 4 runs. No, it was not a grand slam. It was a triple by Riley Green into, I want to say left center, maybe right center, in which Green slides into third after all 3 runners have scored. Ball gets by the third baseman because it's a bad throw. Riley Green makes it to home on an error. So on one swing, you got all 4 runs scored for the Tigers in the entire game. It happened on one swing. So again, not a ton of offensive output. Frankly, there wasn't a ton of offensive output either way. Nationals had 5 hits. Tigers had 6. Nationals were 0-5 with runners in scoring position, and still ended up putting up 5 runs. Granted, their last run was in extra innings with that man on second, ended up getting him to third, and then sacrifice fly ended up getting that player home. And of course, Tigers, new rule, man on second. What did it during COVID is when it went into place. Tigers still not able to score in extras. But let's go ahead and take a look at the pitching. So Kenta Maeda, he threw, I'm pretty sure his first 4 pitches were all balls, and it was a walk to lead off the game. So he threw 4 innings. He did only give up 1 hit and 1 run, but he did give up 4 walks on top of 5 strikeouts. So basically he was either striking the guy out or he was walking him. But Kenta, he's looking at a 5.89 ERA currently. He's not getting the job done. He's not good. You've got him on the books for this year and next year after signing him. Maybe he turns it around. But frankly, you threw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You threw 6 guys total yesterday. After Kenta, there were 5 others: Bo Brisky, Tyler Holton, Shelby Miller, Jason Foley came in after we tied it up late, and then Andrew Chaffin came in at the end, and he ends up being the losing pitcher after throwing in the 10th inning. Looking at the offensive side of the ball, the people who got hits were Zach McKinstry, after he came in for a pinch hit opportunity for Ryan Kriegler. Riley Green had 1 hit, and remember, that was the 1 hit, the triple that ended up turning into an inside the park home run, technically a grand slam without the error. But yes, the error was at third, so Riley had his 1 hit and 3 RBIs. Mark Canna had 1 hit, and then Gio Urshela had 3 hits. Colt Keith has not been great. Matt Vierling kind of cooling off. Perez cooling off. So frankly, right now the highest batting average on the team, it may not be on the team actually, because I'm only looking at the players who played in last night's game, but right now it's Gio Urshela. I remember when I first started the show like 3 weeks ago, Perez was the only player that was above 300, and we felt like he maybe should have been in Rookie of the Year talks. But now he's hitting 245, which is still kind of decent on the team, which isn't a great thing. But Tigers are just this is the kind of game that you just get bummed out about. The pitching isn't there. The offense isn't there. You're not even playing a good team, and they still beat you because you can't capitalize on anything. So it was a home game. From what I heard, one of the worst games to be at. Just nothing exciting outside of the bottom of the 5th inning and that Riley Green swing. So they've got 2 more games. They've got the second one tonight, game 3 tomorrow. We'll see how that goes, but we will review that. So let me know what you guys think about that first game 1 of the series against the Nationals. What were your thoughts on the game? Let me know in the comments below or over on Twitter. Next, we are moving on to the NFL. I enjoy getting the Lions into the show more and more. I cannot wait during football season to just constantly be talking about them. But for months now, we have heard of this player in a different league that the Lions had shown interest in. And now with the UFL playoffs finally being over, Jake Bates can meet with teams. So apparently, several teams have requested to work out UFL kicker Jake Bates, who played for the Michigan Panthers this year. Those other teams are the Washington Commanders, Green Bay Packers, and the Baltimore Ravens. Jake Bates met with the Lions Tuesday. It was not a formal workout, but the fact that the Lions are bringing him in, the fact that the Lions are even meeting with him is a great sign, because we haven't had a ton of consistency at the kicking position. To fill you in on who Jake Bates is, he was I don't even know if you would call him rookie if it's his first year, but it's the first year of the league. Jake Bates was just a sensation in the first season with the Michigan Panthers. So they played their home games in Ford Field, which is kind of just a cool preview of what he could do as a Lions kicker during Ford Field. In their season opener, he booted a game-winning 64-yarder. We're talking Matt Prater territory, a 64-yarder to win their season opener. Since their season opener, he made 17 of 22 field goals, and he was named to the All-UFL team for the 2024 season. So the only field goal that Jake missed that was within 50 yards was a 39-yarder. So he missed 5 total kicks. One of those was a 39-yarder. The other 4 were 51, 53, 58, and 62. So outside of that 39-yarder, all of his other misses came from 51 and further, which you can't really blame the guy for. But I would love to give Jake Bates a shot. I hope that they sign him. It appears that there is mutual interest from both sides. So the fun part about this, as the offseason or the preseason, mini camp, whatever all these summer workouts, whatever we want to call these, but moving into the preseason when they start practicing, if Bates were to sign, he's going to join a kicking competition if he's a part of that 90-man roster. And so there's 2 guys already kicking or already in this kicking competition. And one, that's Michael Badgley. We know Michael Badgley doesn't have a ton of power with his kicking skills, but he's accurate. Undrafted rookie from Michigan, James Turner, is actually the one that's surprising with the leg. So kind of 2 different kickers. You've got one who's better from closer in and is more accurate, but you also have a new rookie, an undrafted rookie in James Turner with a much stronger leg. It just needs to show some more consistency. So Dave Phipp, special teams coordinator, there was a quote in a Pride of Detroit article that said Badgley is working on his range and they're working on bringing him out a little bit further, and that has looked good. But James Turner, on the other hand, has got a huge leg, and he's been much better than average. Quote, very, very good. So we've got encouraging competition. Frankly, bring Jake Bates back into it, and let's see just who comes out. Give 3 guys the ability to win it, and whoever comes up on top, you've got to feel confident in your kicker, because if Badgley is the guy, beating guys with bigger legs than him in James Turner and Jake Bates would be a big deal. Or we do know that MCDC loves to go for it on those 4th and short opportunities that are around that 40-yard line. Does that change if he has a more reliable kicker that he can rely on from those deep kicks from 50, 55, 60 yards? Maybe you have that in James Turner and Jake Bates, or maybe that's just going to be MCDC's philosophy moving forward, where he's going to be aggressive on 4th downs regardless of who his kicker is. So let me know what you guys think about Jake Bates or the idea of Jake Bates joining the kicking competition in Detroit. Leave a comment below or let me know over on Twitter. The last thing that we are going to look at is 3 different draft strategies that the Detroit Red Wings could take for the NFL draft. This is a Athletic article that was written again by Max Boltzmann, so I will leave the link in the description if you guys want to check it out. But Max's 3 ideas are pretty straightforward. You either stay put, you trade up, or you trade down. From what I know, at least NFL draft, there's movement everywhere, right? NBA draft is a little bit less so. You still see trades, not as much as the NFL, but really the trading in NBA is weird because you trade draft rights, or if you make a trade with a team, you ask them to pick a player and then you trade the player afterwards. So just a little weird, but we see less trades in the NBA. I don't know. MLB draft is just crazy long, so I don't know what kind of trades go on there. But I know that in the NHL draft, usually you don't see a ton of trades. However, in 2021, our boy Steve Yzerman himself did move up 8 spots when they drafted Sebastian Cossa. So he did move up from pick 23 to pick 15. So Stevie Y has shown that he will trade up if he's got a guy there. So the first scenario is just to stay put and make a draft pick. So in this case, Red Wings sitting right directly in the middle at pick 15, and Max Boltzmann goes with Michael Branzeg-Nygaard for the number 15 selection. By looking at Max's rationale, this seems to be the common pick amongst all mock drafts. He's a winger. And apparently Max says that people are going to get bored of seeing it. I get it. It just says you look in more and more mock drafts, it happens. People like differences, but if he's the guy, he's the guy. So he thinks it could be a little bit redundant with Marco Casper and Nate Danielson already be picked. But frankly, if you can get responsible two-way players up and down your lineup, that's probably something that you're interested in. And you hope that he projects as a top 6 winger who, can get the puck back from a defensive side of things, can put the puck in the net, and just sounds like a good playoff hockey player. So apparently some people might like something that's a little more dynamic, a little more of an offensive heavy player with some higher upside, but it seems like Max is kind of going with the safer, higher floor pick as opposed to a higher ceiling pick. The other scenario that Max brings up is trading up. And so in this scenario, he says that there's a run on defensive players in the top 10, which means top wingers are falling. And so Stevie Y takes the opportunity to trade up and get a winger that he likes. So in this scenario, the Red Wings are going to trade up to pick 11. So the Buffalo Sabres have that pick. They have already invested a bunch of capital into the Wings. And by wings, I mean on the wing as opposed to the Red Wings. And so in this scenario, he actually trades up to 12, not 11. So you're moving up 3 picks. He's also going to trade up pick 47 and then also trade Anton Johansson to Philadelphia. And in this choice, they take Tij Iginla. Tij Iginla, a forward, coming out of pick number 12. So the logic is that he's going to be an excellent fit in the Red Wings prospect in their pipeline. He's a high-level left shot winger. He scored nearly 50 goals in the WHL last season. He's one of the youngest members of the class. So again, projects as another top 6 wing, maybe a little bit higher offensive firepower or offensive ceiling. But essentially, it's a big need for the Red Wings to have top 6 wingers. We saw what the addition of Patrick Kane did. Whether or not they bring him back, we'll see. But to have that guy in your wings or in your pipeline to be able to move up when the time is right, sounds like a guy that could be interesting at that selection. The last scenario is to trade down. All the top forwards go, and then that defensive run could move into the early teens. If it leaves Detroit without a slam dunk pick at 15, what do? So in this scenario, he says that the Wings trade pick 15 and Justin Hall to Chicago for pick 18. This is an interesting idea. Frankly, because you're getting off of Justin Hall's contract. So you're kind of incentivizing Chicago to take his deal on. But so you're freeing up a little bit of cap. You're moving back three picks. And most of all, I think the trade reasoning here is to get off of Justin Hall's deal. In this scenario, the Red Wings are picking Michael Hage, forward out of Chicago. Hage was the 4th leading scorer in the USHL last season. He earned votes from NHL scouts and executives for best skater and best hands in the class. So he's a prospect. He has some size. He's a good candidate. Max says that it would not shock him if Detroit selected him at 15 altogether. So the fact that you can move to 18, still get a guy that you may have gotten at 15 and get off Justin Hall's deal, that's a pretty good haul, I would say. I like that idea. So that being said, if the Red Wings think that there's a guy at 15 that they could get somewhere at 18 to 20, and then you can also get off Justin Hall's deal at the same time, maybe that's something to consider to open up some cap room, because you're kind of cap strapped as a Red Wings fan. We know that you've got to extend Raymond, you've got to extend Mo, and on top of that, you already don't have a ton of cap. So this could be a good way for the Wings to kind of create a little bit more space, give them a little more operating room. So let me know what you guys think out of these 3 selections. Would you like to see the Wings stay pat? Would you like to see them move up and try to take a forward with maybe some higher ceiling and lose pick 47 and a prospect at the same time? Or would you rather see them trade back a couple spots and get off the Justin Hall deal? Max gives us with 3 pretty good scenarios, 3 good ideas. So let me know what you guys like in the comments below or over on Twitter. And that is it for this episode of Detroit Sports Talk. I see the glare coming in from the window. Probably should have closed that. Whatever. I want to thank you for taking the time to talk some Detroit sports today. Make sure you like the show, subscribe to the channel, comment below your thoughts on today's topics, and follow me on Twitter at Bobby Buckets. Thanks again for taking the time to tune in. I will see you guys on tomorrow's episode. Peace.